On this next assignment or video, we're talking about something called variables. And variables are just letters or something else that represent a number. And it can be almost anything depending on the situation. Oftentimes, we will give it a value. Then you can solve expressions or equations with that. So if I say a is a variable, it can mean anything. But if I say 5 plus a equals, I can't do it. There's no way because it's just 5 plus a. Not the same things, there's nothing, it doesn't tell us what it is. So what we do is, if we give it a value, if a equals 3, then it's easy. We just replace this a with this 3, we get 5 plus 3, and that equals 8. So in this situation, 5 plus a when a equals 3, the answer is 8. In another situation, we could use the letter b. 2 times b is equal to, I don't know, because it really doesn't tell us what to do. We can't solve that. But if I tell you that b is 5, then it's very easy. We just take the b and make it a 5. And its substitution is a fancy term for it. It's sort of like plugging the number in 7th grade. Miss Williams calls it plug and chug. It's just 2 times 5 is 10. And that gives us our answer. Now, sometimes these things, they can get a little more complicated. So you'll see y often. So if we see 3 or 2y, and there's no space between them, that means 2 times y. So if there's no space, it means times. It could also be 2.y, or we usually don't do 2 times y anymore because that gets confused with x. So we don't want to do that anymore. Sometimes you'll actually get 2 different variables in the same equation. So if I say x equals 3 and y equals 4, I can have 2 times y plus x. In this case, the y equals 4, so I'm just going to replace the y with a 4. I put parentheses just to know that I'm multiplying it. And then I'm adding the x, I'm going to replace that with 3. Then I have to do 2 times 4, because of order operations. You do multiplication before addition. Plus 3 gives me 11. So in this case, 2y plus x equals 11 if x is 3 and y is 4. And in some situations, it can be even more complicated. If a equals 5, b equals 7, and c equals 2, you could have problems like a plus b times, and that dot, raised dot means times c. Then you have to just plug the numbers in. A is 5 plus b is 7 times c is 2. And then you have to do order of operations. No parentheses, no exponents. Multiplication left to right is there. To do that one is 14, and 5 plus 14 equals 19. You should have written all these things down in your notes. You need to show the notes to Mr. Morshauser or Miss Moore to get graded on your notes. And then there's an assignment sheet that you can pick up from them.